Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, February the 9th, kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream Park. It's race number 3. We are going about 1 mile and 70 yards on the new Tapeta surface at Gulfstream Park. It's a maiden special weight for 3-year-old fillies. Let's take a look at this field of 9, and you can download free Formulator past performances on the race of the day event page, drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us, and when you've made your final determinations, you can play this race and the entire Gulfstream card on Wednesday with your DRF Bets account. Mike, some very well-bred horses in this field.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting race. I feel like the running this race on the Tapeta surface adds even another wrinkle to it, Dan, because most of the horses that have run already have started out on the turf, and several of them look like they have some potential. We'll see how the surface changes things.
3 promising first-time starters will attempt to win going 2 turns. The 1 Platinum Moon, trained by Todd Pletcher. The 5 My Risky Affair, trained by Christophe Clement. The 9 Silver Leaf, trained by Kenny McPeak. They lack pace data because they're first-time starters, but we'll still throw up the Timeform US pace projector. And barring a quick first-time starter, I think the 2 and the 3 are going to be the pace, especially the 2 Mandorla, stretching out off a 5-furlong sprint.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they have no choice, I don't think, but to show speed with him. Certainly the 3 showed good speed in her debut, although that pace wasn't particularly fast at Tampa. I'll be interested to see where the 7 Oakhurst winds up, Dan, because that horse had some pretty good speed in her career debut at Belmont Park. And in her most recent start, she just really had no chance to get forward from an outside post.
Oh, we'll certainly talk about that because that was a trip to be sure. But we'll begin our conversation in post-position order with the number 1 Platinum Moon. Fascinating to see Todd Pletcher debut one on synthetic. This is a daughter of Malibu Moon, 11% winners with older debut runners, 15% winners with synthetic riders, both above industry standard. The Dam was a stakes winner going long on the dirt. And this filly is a half to one of your all-time favorite horses, Shagaf.
Yeah, there's a lot of pedigree on the Dam side of this family, Dan. I don't know, how much for synthetic necessarily, but it seems like it's pretty versatile. I can see this horse running really well in here. She obviously got a pretty good draw down on the inside. So if she has speed, I mean, she should be forward in this race and maybe fall into a trip. I guess we'll see how much money she takes. 9-2 on the morning line for a Pletcher firster. I guess that would be a good price, but is that a bad sign if the horse goes off at a price like that?
I like the work tab, and I'd urge everybody to check out the Clocker reports produced by Mike Welsh and his colleagues available at DRF. Looks like that this one's been working in company with a couple of Pletcher horses that came back to win on turf going long. I think she's been well matched in the works. The 2 is Mandorla. This horse did show speed sprinting going 5/8 of a mile, expected to be one of the pace setters in here. I have some concerns about the distance, Mike, kind of a sprinty pedigree.
Have concerns about the distance and just have concerns about how talented she is, Dan. She's run 3 times so far. She hasn't really been around at the end of any of those races, and it feels like she landed in a pretty tough field here to stretch out for the first time.
Formulator fact for the number 3, Ojale, going out for trainer Jonathan Thomas, who has had good success moving from turf to synthetic. It's not a move that he does often, but when Thomas does, 5 for 9. 56% to $2.41 ROI, and this filly has some pedigree. She's a half-sister to Fluffy Socks, who's a graded stakes winner on the turf. This horse showed good speed in her debut at Tampa going 2 turns. It was a race that went to closers. I'm willing to forgive that effort, although I'm not sure how strong that field was overall.
I'm not either, but she did some good things in there for a first-time starter. Had speed. She never really got loose on the lead. She had a rival going with her all the way. She contested it up the backstretch and around the turn. I thought she stayed pretty gamely, Dan, down to about mid-stretch. She just couldn't get away from that field and got tired at the end. I thought she ran well. Thomas has really good numbers with that surface switch. He has really good numbers with his maiden second-time starters as well. Just feels like this horse is probably going to take a step forward in here.
Up next is the number 4, Signora Dioro. This one is 20-1 on the morning line on a beautifully bred filly. It's probably too early to give up on her. She's by Medaglia Dioro. She's a half-sister to a French Group 3 winner, as well as a Group 3 placed turf router named Ivietsu. Now, this horse was just completely dismissed. At her career debut at Belmont, a giant price, was just out-sprinted from the word go. I think this layoff is going to do her some good. I think she might have grown up a bit.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what she does on the way back here, Dan. When you go back and watch that debut, not only did she just get way, way too far back early, there was a point around the turn of that race where it looked like she wasn't going to run at all. And once she got into the stretch, they took her wide and she passed a few horses in there, did all of her running at the end of the race. I feel like she's going to do better in here. And I almost put her on top and I wound up not doing that. But I think she's going to run better in her second start.
The third finisher from that race did come back to run third at Gulfstream with a 70 and then graduated with a 77. Both of those races on turf. First-time starter up next, the number 5, My Risky Affair, a $19,000 buyback as a yearling. This one's by Verrazano, only 7% winners with older debut runners, 11% winners with synthetic routers. But this filly is out of a stakes-winning dirt sprinter, and she is a half to 40 under, who is a graded stakes winner going long on the turf. So there's versatility in this pedigree.
Yeah, there's some pedigree here. Clement is so good with first-time starters. And that alone made me take a second look at this horse, who, listen, bred well enough for me. We'll see if she has any speed at all in this race, but I'm not going to be surprised if she runs well then.
No surprise that her uncoupled stablemate, the 6, Adelie, improved by leaps and bounds second time out, stretching out. After all, she's a half-sister to Baron Samdi, who won the Belmont Gold Cup going 2 miles. Let's watch the second start for Adelie at Tampa Bay. She's going to get heat for second, and we're going to see she's down inside. It's her first race with blinkers. Sammy Camacho is going to eventually ease her out in mid-stretch for a clear run, and she's running on at the end.
Yeah, it's a good performance. Once she finally gets into the clear, she really starts making up ground. The horse that wins this race is a stablemate of hers for Clement, who also debuted in that gunboat race at Aqueduct going 6 furlongs. They were both stretching out in here. They both took steps forward. This horse ran really, really well. I think she's dangerous in this race.
And now let's talk about the horse to beat. The number 7 is Oakhurst. And friends, check out those free formulator past performances and make sure you watch the replay of her last race at Gulfstream Park. You just click on the short comment. She broke from post 11. She must have been 4 or 5 wide on the first turn. She must have been 7 wide on the second turn. She still was running on at the end. She obviously showed ability. That race produced 3 next out winners. Lasix on, just lots to like.
Yeah, there are. I mean, she just had no chance last time. And, you don't want to blame the rider too much for it because I'm not sure what Leparoux could have done except just send her into the first turn and try to clear. And I doubt that was going to work either. As it turns out, she just got hung out to dry in that race and ran pretty well. I actually thought her debut was pretty good too, Dad. She showed good speed in that race, but another race where she got caught on the outside all the way and got a little tired at the end.
Horse that finished directly ahead of her came back to graduate with a 77 buyer. Only Time is up next. Let's watch Only Time's last race. Now, this is over the synthetic course and distance for weaker horses. This is a maiden claiming event. She was taken for $35,000. She made a little bit of a move into this race to make the lead as the favorite. She's just no match for this Mandy Green, but she fights on down to the wire. Solid second, but she's just going to have to improve. This is a pretty big step up in class.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, she's run fine in her last 2 races and was right there at the end both times. But she's just stepping way up in class, and she's not fast on the way in. It just feels like one of these other horses is going to make things really hard on her in here.
Completing the field's the 9, Silverleaf. This is the Ken McPeak trained first-time starter by Speightster. 10% winners, older debut runners. 15% winners with synthetic routers. This is a half-sister to Valued Strike, a stakes winner on turf. On the second dam won the Diana at Saratoga. So there's distance and turf pedigree on the bottom.
Yeah, there is. And that Valued Strike you mentioned, who is a turf winner, stakes winner on the turf, but that horse has won on all 3 surfaces. She was a pretty good synthetic horse as well. So this horse is versatile enough to handle this surface first time out. McPeak, he doesn't win. I don't want to say he wins with a ton of firsters, but with the right ones, they tend to show up and they run really well if he has them ready to go.
And he can win going 2 turns with him as well. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at our top picks. Really fun race to kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream on Wednesday. Mike's going with Oakhurst. Way the horse to beat. And if you can lock in those 3-1 odds, I think you're supposed to take it with Arad Ortiz Jr. She just ran well in both starts. And again, no chance trip last time.
Yeah, that's why I sided with her. But man, there's a lot going on in this race. And I felt like it was pretty hard to argue with several of the contenders in here. This is actually a pretty good field.
Curious to see what we get from Platinum Moon. Again, you don't usually see Todd debut one on synthetic. This horse does have a solid distance pedigree. And again, I like the work tab coming in 9-2 on the morning line. 7-3-4-6 for Mike, 1-7-6-3 for me. It's your Wednesday DRF race of the day. Best of luck.